Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're talking about probably the best Beach House album, at least in terms of how catchy it is. I mean, oh my goodness. This is 2012's Bloom, although I am a little disappointed by the album cover. You know, it's kind of like Teen Dream. You know, both of those album covers are kind of like, you know, whatever. But that's okay, because what's inside is what counts. And what's inside of this album in particular is just amazing ear candy. Like the first two songs on this album in particular are just incredible examples of the dream pop slash ethereal pop genre that Beach House is so well known for. So I really like this album, and I hope that you guys find it interesting. So, you know, I'm excited to talk about it and share some clips. So let's start with track one, which is probably my favorite or second favorite track on the album. It's called Myth. So let's check it out. Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, again, just the ear candy on this album is kind of insane, especially on this track, in track two. I just love this song. And it kind of makes me think of a lot of things, right? Because what she's singing about is, from what I can gather, she's talking about the fact that we all make decisions in our lives. And, you know, our decisions kind of make us drift in and out of the road, you know, as she says, but the road is our path through life. It's our purpose. It's what we're meant to be doing. And sometimes we're kind of on track and we know exactly what we're trying to do. But oftentimes we don't really know what's going on. You know, we just kind of pursue things that we enjoy, or that we assume will make us, you know, good money to support our family or something. So when she says, help me to name it, what that makes me think of is basically, this person is kind of struggling with the meaning in their life, you know, like what is the point of them being alive exactly, you know, and I can imagine a lot of artists struggle with that, you know, especially if they're not doing terribly well, you know, they're not making a lot of money at it, so they're probably wondering, like, am I supposed to be an artist because I'm not succeeding? So, you know, is this the path that I'm supposed to be on, or am I supposed to get off the exit, so to speak, and do something else? So I like this song quite a bit. It makes me think, in addition to making me goosebumpy with joy because of the ear candy. But anyway, so that's Myth. That's all I want to say about it. So let's move on to my second favorite track, number 2, which is called Wild.
My mother said to me that I would get in trouble. Our father won't come home 'cause he is seeing double.
Again, just oh my goodness, I love the ear candy on these two tracks. It's just so good. I can't even. But I even like the lyrics a lot because we're learning about our main character more, right? It sounds like she's coming from a broken home a little bit. You know, her dad's a drunkard. Her mom is probably not loving life exactly, but she's got some wisdom that she's trying to, you know, share with her daughter. You know, it sounds like her daughter is dating someone who's kind of bad news, kind of trouble, but she's kind of getting maybe a little bit carried away with the fact that like this guy, you know, shows enough affection to make her think, you know, this might last or whatever. So her mom potentially has been through this type of thing before. You know, maybe this is what it was like with her current husband when they were younger, right? So she's kind of like seeing where this is going to go for her daughter, right? If her daughter continues on this path with this boy, then she's going to end up like her mother and, you know, marry a drunkard or whatever. So from the daughter's perspective, you know, she says, the earth is wild, you've got no time. So what that makes me think of is I imagine the daughter she might not be enjoying her childhood exactly. You know, she's seeing her father drunk all the time. Maybe they get into a lot of fights. You know, maybe it's not the best situation for her. And as far as she's concerned, you know, the earth is wild. So she's got to savor all of the good things that are, you know, appearing whenever they appear. So as far as she's concerned, this boy likes her and she's trying to milk it for as long as possible because she's got no time, right? I mean, maybe one way to look at that specifically was perhaps her mother and her father married really young. And so in her mind, you know, she doesn't have a lot of time to like mess around with people until she has to get married and have kids. So I think of all these things, you know. It's just a really beautiful song, sonically speaking. I mean, this is like their pop album for sure, and I love it. But anyway, so that's wild. That's all I want to say about it. So let's move on to track number 3, which is called Lazuli. Just a beautiful song, and you know, she's kind of going deep again because she's thinking about people and how unique people are, right? Because the Lazuli, lapis lazuli, is kind of a rare stone, so she's kind of equating that with how unique people are in the sense that, you know, she's with this guy who I guess is making her suffer on occasion because he's probably not the best boyfriend, but she recognizes all these wonderful things about him that she loves, you know, so she's willing to put up with all the bad to see the good. And as far as she's concerned, it sounds like she's painfully aware of how, you know, all the unique things about her boyfriend are things that you can't find in other people, right? I mean, we've all been through this in our relationships where, we fall in love with the uniqueness of our partner, and it's only in those rare circumstances where we truly appreciate just how special each person is in their own way. So it sounds like our main character here, she's having some issues with this guy, but at the same time, there's enough about him that's very special and unique that she's okay dealing with it. So I love this song. It's going deep again, which I enjoy. But that's Lazuli. That's all I want to say about it. So let's move on to track 4, which is called Other People.
So thought it would happen. Good luck, goodbye. I know when no one can reach you. No, I don't mind. It's your world. Why would you fake it? These days go by. It's been Other people want to keep in touch. Something happens and it's not enough. Never thought that it would mean so much. Other people want to keep in
Yeah, the chorus on this song is just amazing. The vocal melodies are just so memorable. I love it. And I like how she's going a little bit deep again, because she's talking about something that is pretty common, and it's really weird if you actually think about it. So what she's saying is this guy in the relationship is kind of faking being in love, right? She says, it's your world, why would you fake it? So what that makes me think of is a situation where the guy is just kind of like going through the motions. He doesn't really love this girl, but at the same time, maybe he likes the sex, or he likes having someone helping support him, or, he likes the company, but he's not like super into it. And so it's confusing that so many people would put themselves in this type of situation, right? Where all they have to do is break up with the person and then just find someone else. But most people choose to, be comfortable even if it's not like the best situation. They would rather just go through the motions. So she's kind of wondering all this stuff, and it's confusing her like it confuses many of us. So I dig it. I like Other People. It's a great song. But let's move on to track 5, which is called The Hours. Yeah, so The Hours is something I can definitely relate to, because it seems to be about a relationship where the woman is like desperately signaling to her man that she's totally ready to be with him forever, right? And she keeps saying things like, can I wait the hours till you find me? Which I interpret as like, is she willing to wait for this guy to finally propose to her and actually like make this a serious thing? You know, so I imagine they've probably been together for a long time, and there still hasn't been any real indication that he wants to marry her. And so she's like really frustrated by the whole situation, understandably. But she says, you know, frightened eyes keep looking back at me. Change your mind, don't care about me. So I guess maybe this guy has had some bad experiences before in relationships. Maybe he's, you know, he's opened his heart so wide to previous girlfriends, and they've all disappointed him so much that he's just totally unwilling to do it again. So like he wants to be with somebody, but he doesn't want to be, you know, thrown aside yet again. So this woman again is trying to signal like, yes, I'm the one for you. Just please ask me to marry you. But the guy, he's just too scared right now, and she can't get through to him. So this poor woman, she just wants a husband. She wants to marry this dude. So I hope they figure it out. But anyway, that's The Hours, another really good song. But let's move on to track 6, which is called Troublemaker.
Like a hand you reached out to me. The thunder rolls with the dark. Tiny fingers on the edges, watching unravel, pulling everything apart.
Yeah, so I've always considered this to be kind of a companion piece to The Hours, in the sense that, you know, the woman is in this relationship that's been lasting forever and the guy won't marry her. So she's been tempted over and over again to cheat on him to get some real intimacy, right? So maybe like the intimacy is gone in her actual relationship. So she's frustrated, and it sounds like she's finally caved. She's finally cheated on her man, and the guilt is eating her alive, right? And she keeps seeing the guy's face in other people. So by the guy, I mean the person she slept with to cheat on her boyfriend. So she's seeing this guy's face everywhere and just feeling awful about it. And, you know, she's in this weird, awful situation where she just wants to marry this guy, but, you know, he just won't commit. He's just too scared. So, like, because of that, you know, she's unraveling, as she says, and she finally caved and cheated on him. So this poor relationship is, you know, is kind of doomed, unfortunately. But that's Troublemaker. That's what it makes me think of. I'm going to skip the next track just because I don't want to make this too long of a video. So we're going to move on to track 8, which is called Wishes.
The roses on the lawn, don't know which side
Yeah, so, the woman cheated on her man, as we talked about, and it sounds like he found out and broke up with her. So now she's single, but not only is she single, but like everybody she knows, is talking about it. They're all gossiping about her because she says the voices in the hall will carry on their talking, and then she says she's carrying weight that she can't take. So like not only does she feel guilty about it, but everyone knows about it. Everyone thinks of her as this cheat, as this awful person. And so that kind of like narrows down her prospects a little bit, because if all the guys know that she's a cheat, then, that might eliminate some of her potential pool, so to speak. So she just feels awful, on so many levels. People, she's probably losing friends on one hand, but then also like, she's just mad at herself for caving, understandably. So she's going through a rough time. And when she says, wishes on a wheel, is it even real? What that makes me think of is like, to her, the situation is so surreal that it almost feels dreamlike, right? I think we've all, at one point or another, been in a situation where we did something that was just like so out of character for us that we kind of look back on it and think like, did we actually do that? Like, is this even happening? Is this even real life, as they say? So she's probably, what she means by that, she's probably thinking like, how did I ever do that? Like, is this even happening? Is this really my reality right now? So yeah, she's having a rough time. But anyway, so that's Wishes. So the last clip I have for you guys is from track 9, which is called On the Sea.
Would you rather go and wheeling? The heart is full, now it's spilling, barreling down the steps. Only a moment left. Behind the sun, no peace of mind. When you begin and undefined, daughter of unconscious fate, time will tell in spite of me. Behind the sun, no peace of mind. Where it begins and we're defined. Shadows bend and suddenly the world becomes and swallows me.
Wow, this poor woman. So, On the Sea makes me think of a few things. For one, the name of the song being On the Sea kind of makes me think of like, she's metaphorically on the sea in the sense that land would be a new relationship. So she's kind of lost at sea again. She's not with anybody. And from the sound of the lyrics, she can't find anybody else because everyone in town is talking about her behind her back. She's known as like the town cheat. Because she says her heart is full and now it's spilling. So it sounds like all she wants to do is find somebody and love them and marry them and have kids with them, but nobody will take a chance with her now because her reputation's ruined. And it sounds like from this song that she's decided that this was her fate, this was her destiny, and she's hit rock bottom literally to the point where she's, I'm assuming, killing herself is what it sounds like. it's always made me think of that, you know. So this poor woman has just hit rock bottom so hard that she's decided to take her own life, you know. So geez Louise, this is a really this is a really sad album, even though it sounds really poppy and beautiful, you know. It's another one of those. But yeah, I would say that this album is probably the easiest Beach House album to get into for a beginner. It's just so catchy, it's so memorable, you know. On some days it would be my favorite. Although 7 is probably the one that I would pick as my favorite. But anyway, I just hope that you guys thought it was interesting, you know. And as always, feel free to let me know in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you have some interpretations you want to share? I'll check them out. But yeah, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It'd really help me out. I've got a bunch of these lined up for you guys. But yeah, that's Beach House. That's Bloom. Check it out and have a good one.